With us again on Morning Blend is Corey Dunham, the CEO of BDB Marketing Design. Welcome back to the Blend, Corey. Tell us about what companies can do if they're having some stagnant growth or flat sales.
Yeah, a couple of things they can do is number one, start asking some questions about their own process. Has anything changed, or potentially has anything stayed the same that maybe they need to change? Another area is to focus on maybe their marketplace or the companies they work with, the target audience. Sometimes that has changed. And what I've seen, at least over the last few years, because of the pandemic, many times companies are now going online. A lot of companies have popped up and are doing more business online. So just the whole way people are doing business has almost completely changed in their mindset about it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what can companies do if they're struggling to keep their clients or they're experiencing loss of revenue?
Yeah, well, with that, there are a few different areas they can look at. Number one, if they're looking for some low-hanging fruit, they can look at some of their existing clients, reaching back out to them. And that would be a question I would have for them too, is are you staying in touch with their client? Are you educating them? Are you finding out what their current pains are or their situations and problems that they're trying to solve? Because many times we think, oh, I know what my ideal client wants and what they're having issues with, but many times we haven't kept in touch with them.
Yeah, for sure. So how do we develop trust with our customers and future customers? Like you said, the current ones we have, are we really paying enough attention to them? And then how do we go get more?
Yeah. Well, with some of that low hanging fruit, you can reach back to those existing customers, also previous customers that you had, and just check in with them. Hey, how's it going? Has everything been working out for you? And see if you can either fill a need for them or just checking in on them. And many times you're going to get some maybe new business that can help them out with their current situations, or they have a new problem. So really getting honed in and focused on what your customers' pains and problems and challenges are, and really switching your focus from sharing your features and benefits to how can I serve and how can I help?
Right. Real quickly, summarize for us what companies can do to turn their business around if they're struggling.
Yep. Once again, look at their process. What can they do differently internally? Was it mostly inbound calls they were getting, and now they need to maybe shift that to outbound, or maybe they need to work and figure out how their client base is currently communicating and get in touch with them or stay in contact with them on social media or whatever it may be, through email, blogs, whatever.
Yeah, everything's a little different right now. Even if you thought you knew your customer before, they're going to have changed in the last couple of years, and we got to keep up with that, right?
Yes.
All right. Corey Dunham, BDB Marketing Design. Always great to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. You're watching Fox 47 Morning News.
It's another great day to get outside and be with nature. Here with an extended look at our forecast is meteorologist Candace Monticelli. Welcome back, Candace.
Well, Michaela, let's take a look at our weather headlines here as it is hot, muggy, sunny, and windy today as we are sitting in the warm sector of this system, which the cold front comes through early tomorrow. So we'll have a chance for some showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder in there before a really beautiful holiday weekend. Here's the first couple of days on that Super 7-day planner. 91 degrees today, feeling warmer with that touch of humidity. We'll lose that stickiness once this cold front comes through early on Friday and brings us these showers and storms. So dry today, early throughout your morning. Tomorrow we'll start to see this broken line of showers and storms continuing until about mid-afternoon, and then we'll dry out for your Friday evening and stay that way through the holiday weekend. So how much rain are we talking? This is just a look at the European model. I think we could see about a quarter to a half an inch of rainfall, so not a big heavy hitting rain event. But at this point, we are so dry, we'll take anything that we can get. And even with this rain, we're still dry for likely all of your holiday weekend. 86 both Saturday and Sunday, plenty of sunshine. 88 on 4th of July on Monday. We have high pressure in control, and that'll really keep us quiet through the holiday weekend. Our next shower chance then doesn't arrive until Tuesday. So today, our warmest day of the next 7. Stay hydrated, stay cool, and know that showers and storms will welcome you by mid-morning tomorrow. Make it a great Thursday. For now, I'm meteorologist Candace Monticelli.
It was a chance to catch a good time with the Grand Ledge law enforcement. Your Grand Ledge neighborhood reporter Asia Lawrence joins us now on how it went and when the next one will be happening.
The rain stopped just in time for the Grand Ledge Police Department to hold their first annual Fish with the Cop event right here off Grand River. The Grand Ledge Police Department is hosting this fishing event on the new Tyler Lee Murphy fishing dock. According to officers here, events like this beat just sitting and having coffee any day. Members of the Grand Ledge community like sisters Katie and Abby Logal and their father are excited to spend time on the new dock and brush up on their fishing skills despite a couple mishaps.
He caught a tree. I caught a tree too, so.
If you missed today's event, no worries. The Grand Ledge Police Department will be back here on July 13th. More details on our Fox 47 website. For now, in Grand Ledge, I'm Asia Lawrence, your neighborhood reporter, Fox 47 News.
Fox 47 has you covered when it comes to finding a fun event near you this holiday weekend. We've made a list for you on our website at fox47news.com so you don't miss a thing. Don't see an event that you're throwing? No problem. You'll also find a form to submit your own festivities so that more people can join in on the excitement.
Juvenile arrests are down in Lansing according to some new data. Just ahead, we're going to check in with city leaders to find out what's contributing to the decline and what steps they're taking to make sure the trend continues.
From the street. Welcome back, Mid-Michigan. Fox 47 Morning News starts now.
Welcome back to Fox 47 Morning News. We're in our last half hour this morning, so let's finish it off with some more headlines from your neighborhoods and across the nation.
Lansing officials say the number of juvenile arrests in the city have been declining over the past few years, and there are a number of factors contributing to the downward trend.
But what we've seen over the last few years, really since 2018, is a slight decrease in our juvenile arrests and actually offenses. I think some of the reasoning behind that is because of a lot of our youth engagement is working.
In 2018, the juvenile arrest count was 196. That number dropped down to 130 in 2019. In 2020, the juvenile arrest count was down to 88. And last year, it dropped to 73. Soulsby says there's no magic formula for combating youth arrest and violence in the city, but a police program that puts officers into schools and teaches kids about avoiding gangs and other pitfalls seems to be making a difference.
We've been back out in the community since COVID at events. We're back into the schools. Our GREAT program is back into the high schools, or actually into the lower grade level schools. We obviously, like we've said before, we want to try and get to become the violence interruption before it happens.
The chief says his department is also looking at how some surrounding cities handle interactions with young people and what kinds of programming they have in place as alternatives to making arrests. He's working with the police commission to research the issue and hopes to present his findings soon.
We've all been there. We've all made bad decisions. Do we have, or are we affording them the opportunity that they deserve for that mulligan to not go down the wrong road and to give them some guidance and some leadership instead of just arresting them.
Fox 47 News also reached out to the police commission for comment on the decline in juvenile arrests, but we haven't received a response. Your neighborhood reporter in Lansing, Erica Murphy, Fox 47 News.
Let's take a look at what's making headlines this morning in sports news with Brad Galley.
Tigers wrapping up a long 10-day, 8-game road trip, wrapping up a 2-game visit to San Francisco. Trouble in the first inning like we've seen all season, but in the 6th, tied at 1, runner aboard for Eric Haas. 2-run shot puts the Tigers up 3-1. Giants providing some trouble. Bases loaded. Mike Yastrzemski, Tigers trying to force an inning-ending double play. They get 1 out. Can they get 2? It's close, and the Giants get there. All of a sudden, a 1-run game. Michael Fulmer brought in, and he gets out of the inning. In the 9th, 3-2 game, Gregory Soto trying to close it out. He does what Fulmer does, slams the door shut. The Tigers win at 3-2, ending a road trip with a win. The Stanley Cup playoffs are over. The Red Wings search for a head coach. Well, the picture is becoming a little bit clearer. Kevin Weeks of ESPN reports Lightning assistant coach Derek Lalonde was in Detroit this week meeting with the Wings about the job. Steve Yzerman hired Lalonde as a Tampa assistant back in 2018 when he was still the GM in Tampa. Yzerman said at the end of the season being familiar with the candidate, that would help. He also said he didn't want to lock in a timeline, but the NHL draft is next Thursday. You might expect him to hire someone before then. And Weeks also reports if Lalonde or other Tampa assistant Jeff Halpern takes that Detroit job, Jeff Blashill is a candidate to join the staff in Tampa Bay. Those are your morning sports headlines. I'm Brad Galley.
Jackson High School has a new varsity head football coach. Jackson's King Center director, Antonio Parker. Parker is a Jackson High School alum and played on their football team between 1997 and 2001. He's been a coach for 18 years in the school system and spent 6 years at the middle school level. The last 12 years, he was an assistant coach at Jackson High School, serving as a defensive coordinator for the past 5 years. Parker was a junior on the team that won their first playoff game in school history in 1999 against Battle Creek Central. Their second playoff win in school history came when he was an assistant coach in 2015 when the Vikings defeated Livonia Churchill.
When our head coach told us that he was stepping down, I felt like my heart was pulling me to do that, and like a gut punch was like, hey, it's time to rock and it's time to impact the future. And that's what it was about. And so it's my why is to help impact the future and chase my passion. And my passion is helping young people.
Parker is taking over for former head coach Scott Farley, who served in that role for 9 years. Parker will continue to serve as King Center director as well. The Vikings' first practice is August 9th, and their first game is August 26th at Monroe High School. Your Jackson neighborhood reporter, Joe Gebhardt, Fox 47 News.
It's a tragic story that we've been following out of Lansing after a 23-month-old baby died following a house fire. Your neighborhood reporter Lauren Shields brings us the latest details on how this could have been avoided.
We have an update on a recent Lansing tragedy that could have been avoided, where a 23-month-old boy died in a house fire.
Monday morning, a fire broke out on East Kavanaugh Street in Lansing, leaving a mother and 2 of her kids hospitalized and her nearly 2-year-old son, Damian Chisaya, dead. Lansing's fire marshal told Fox 47 News that the smoke detectors at the home were not functioning properly, meaning this incident could have been avoided. He would not specify how many detectors were in the home or provide any other information, as the investigation is still ongoing at this time. Lansing Director of Communications Scott Bean told us that the house was a rental property owned by Evolve Real Estate, though it was not registered with the city as a rental property. According to online records, the address of the rental company is in DeWitt. I visited that address and knocked 4 times. Though I heard someone inside, no one came to the door. The address for the taxpayer of the property is a Grand Rapids address. Lansing Economic Development and Planning Director Brian McGrain wrote in a statement, "Smoke detectors are required throughout inhabited structures and placement can vary depending on usage. Regarding residential usage, typically they are required on every floor in every bedroom and within so many feet of each other, among other placements. When a rental inspection is done, my team checks for placement and operation of these devices. But because it was not registered with the city as a rental property, it was not inspected." McGrain said the city is not currently aware of other properties in the city owned by the LLC listed on the property records.
Something new is in the planning process for Michigan State's campus. Your Michigan State University neighborhood reporter Yasmin Ludi gives us a look at what could be in store for the science and engineering department.
A lot of changes are coming to MSU, like renovations to the sports complex, and now planning for a new building is in the works. On Friday, the MSU Board of Trustees authorized the administration to plan for a new engineering and digital innovation building.
The incoming class this fall is going to be over 1,900. So there's been a rising demand for the majors offered in the College of Engineering.
And with more students means you need more space to keep up with it all.
Having enough space to grow our programs to meet the student demand, we're going to need more faculty, right? We're going to need the teaching space. Okay, you can't do this kind of work all online.
The new building is not only for more space, it's also creating room for new majors and will have a digital innovation component that will allow collaborations between other colleges on campus.
We really want to allow students from various programs around campus to interact in ways that they haven't done before. In this case, with a digital focus.
Kimball also tells me the new space will help the college produce graduates who can be an asset to the workforce. Now, this is all just in the planning process, so Kimball says he doesn't know what the cost will be.